One. Okay, we're live. Hey everyone, it's Avatar Guy, and I'm really excited because this week's podcast is showcasing some of the amazing artists that are in the Avatar community. One of the big things that struck me from the very earliest days of being part of the Avatar fandom was how creative and just talented people are. And today we're going to talk with some of the most amazingly talented artists I've ever seen, both in the Avatar community and outside of it. We'll talk about what they like in terms of art, their process, and I guess anything else that comes to mind. Let me show you who is here and give you an intro. So we have the usual suspects of Klee,
Hi
and
guys.
we have Dreamwalker.
Hey everyone.
We have Ashen One,
Hi.
and Ashen's art is actually showcased on the intro slide. Not only did he create the thumbnail, he also created the little artist Peepo in the corner.
Yeah, I mean, it's not completely fair. I just took it like a green version of that and then made it blue, so I wouldn't take full credit.
I don't know. Do we have a vote of whether that's his?
It's fair
thing or not?
use. I think that
Fair use.
constitutes fair use. Yeah, I agree.
And also, I feel like with things that are mimetic, it can be different. Anyway, hello everyone in chat. Hi and everyone. Okay, so, and then first of all, we have Avatar.
Hi.
And this is her art, which I'm sure we'll have lots of discussion on later on. Next, we have Elf,
Hi.
and this is another piece of her art, which is a little. I think this is Aliens. It's Jones and Ripley, right?
Yeah.
And we have Akka.
Hey there. Thanks for having me.
We're glad to have you on. And a lot of you might have seen this from when I posted it to the community, and it got lots of likes, which is really cool. And then we have Ollie. He has
Hello.
joined us. He has some of the most I genuinely think that you should work for maybe not Disney with all the stories that have come out, but you will see some of his art as we go on. Like I was saying to Ashen before we started, some of it's his. If you didn't tell me, I would have thought that it was concept art from a
Yeah,
movie.
it looks like a reference sheet for animation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's so
Thank
good.
you.
And then we have Maralai, some of the Maralai's art who isn't here, but we're gonna discuss some of her stuff anyway. So, I think we can kick off with this piece. And if I don't know, Avatar, do you want to tell us a little bit about it, and then we can all just talk if we want to.
All right. Well, to me, art is secondary to story. Like to me, it's the following partner, and story leads it. And I wanted this to be like a visual accompaniment to the Trinity theory, which I've been wrote about and I've been discussing with other fans and with Albert Chesa on his podcast. And that's what this piece is supposed to be. So we have Kiri in the center, and she has this serenity about her, this almost Christ-like. Like she really is a walking. I see her as like a walking god in this Avatar universe here, but she's just a pure spirit who's here to heal. So I have her in the center. She represents Pandora, in my view, from what I learned. And Jake, as her father, represents the Na'vi, who care and nurture for their planet. They, as a steward over it, and that would be Jake's attitude towards Kiri. So he's looking at her, but then you have Quartz on the right, who represents mankind, and who don't understand, who don't see into Pandora, and they don't realize just how beautiful it is. And I feel like in this upcoming movies, you're going to see a lot of the parallels of what's going on with the war as a microcosm in these three characters. And it's going to be more operatic, almost like Star Wars in the way I think it's going to come out. But that's what really drove me to finish these pieces. And is there any questions or what?
I was going to say one of the big things for me about your art as soon as I saw it was that not only is it inspired by James Cameron, it's obviously also inspired by James Cameron's art, like that he's
Mhm.
actually done himself. So
Mhm.
we don't have a picture of it like here, but if any of you search it up and if you look through Jim's art that he's done in the past, a lot of his art, and so we'll see some more that's like in a similar style later on that Ashen did. It's rarely on like a white piece of paper. He uses a lot of like colors. You know, I don't know. I don't even know. Like, someone else might actually know like, better than me, but like, he seems to like this style. And in his art book, he
Mhm.
talks about how he says that he likes drawing on dark paper and like card colored paper because it helps him capture like the light and things.
Oh yeah, like artists will do that technique because it shows the whites beautifully in whatever color you add. Like brown's a really good neutral, and yeah, I can see why it's a very smart decision if you're trying to really strike the audience's eyes. Like in this picture, I use the eyes and their blue facial stripes, which you kind of wouldn't see with just blue if I did their blue skin. This way you can really emphasize what it is. Like Kiri's facial stripes are like roots. Jake's is very wavy because he's going with the flow. Quartz's are very sharp, like almost like a zebra or like a warning to don't touch kind of thing. The spiders like that, they have a lot of sharp edges, and I just thought that was really highlighting the aspects of these three characters. So the brown paper worked wonderfully.
And what kind of material do you use? Is it like crayon or paint?
I use this is digital art actually. I was trying to
okay.
emulate traditional art, but yeah, I wouldn't be able to get those clean blue lines if it was like watercolors. Like watercolors are, I find I don't really have an art studio to do traditional art, but I can use digital art, and I was trying to emulate traditional art as much as possible, like blurring the pencils line or my tool lines a little bit so it looked
Pencil
like
is the word I was looking for. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like pencil.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I just thought it was
No,
beautiful.
it's so cool how you managed to make it look like it was done on paper, like hand drawn, digitally.
Yeah, I
use you use a tablet, right?
Oh yes, I use a Wacom tablet.
Okay.
I think
I find it's.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just wanted to say that the details are really amazing in this painting. I tip my hat to you. Actually, it's very amazing. I could never do that.
I feel like you should sell prints of this. Maybe I don't like. Maybe there's like a discussion.
No, I agree.
I mean, I'm
It's
serious.
really good.
I would have that on my wall. I'm not kidding. And I don't know. Like, this is, I guess, another question is that I don't ever think that art should be done necessarily for not for it to be sold itself, but and maybe I'm wrong. If I say anything you disagree with, by the way, anyone just shout at me and tell me that I'm wrong.
Speak your mind. Your mind.
But no. I totally think that this could be like people would buy this for sure, right? I mean, it looks amazing.
Yeah.
Not to say that. I mean, I think genuinely every single piece of art that we're going to show on today's show is worthy of like, and I would definitely buy. In fact, one of the pieces I actually bought. So, yeah, I would. I 100%. We can, I guess, move on to a piece by Elf. Also, if anyone wants to go back 20 pieces, just say, because we can jump around. But this is one of my absolute favorites because it's so small and because it's from my favorite movie, which is Aliens. So, I mean, Elf, if you want to tell us a little bit about it.
Well, I literally just found this really small canvas in a drawer, literally just in a room somewhere. And I wanted, because all I do is Sigourney Weaver art, and I love Ripley so much, so I felt like I just had to do something related to her and that movie. So that's kind of what I did, really. Yeah.
It's so cute. I adore it.
I love
Thanks.
the size that for some, like, I for some weird reason I really like the really small art. So I don't know if any of you know William Blake, but one of my all-time favorite pieces of art is called The Ghost of a Flea, and it's this absolutely tiny like piece of art, and it's in a museum somewhere in London. And I went to see it and just sat there and looked at it for hours because
Oh,
just all the little, I don't know, like there's something about extra small art that touches me on like a fundamental level. But maybe that's because I'm weird.
She did do an excellent job capturing the facial details on just a small portrait. It is quite well done. My hat's off to you. And I am wearing a hat.
I also love the way you got the light to shine on her face with the white paints. It really looks like she's in the light and like it's reflecting from her cheekbones and from her chin. That's really neat.
Thank you.
Again, I feel like this should be in a museum, and it could be like one of Ripley's only happy moments.
Cat is also
Like-
super cute.
That
Like,
alone is
literally.
monumental.
Just a moment of brightness in an otherwise dark existence. It's like,
Yeah.
no. And let's move on to Akka. So this is one that I posted to on my community posts that I do on YouTube.
Mm.
And I remember when I first saw this, I was like, oh my god, that could be. I wouldn't have not believed you if you'd have said this was an official poster or something that they put out. You know, 'cause
I'd buy it.
Yeah,
I'd buy
for
it
sure.
if it was
Yeah.
a poster.
Yeah.
I
I
like
wanna
want to
tell
buy
us-
it. Where can I buy this?
This is what I'm saying, guys. Everyone should. You need to all sell your art, sell prints of this. Again, I would totally have this on in a frame on my wall.
Yeah. In the comments, shout out if you would buy one of these.
Yeah, I could totally make some prints. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, but yeah, my approach here was kind of to like, I really wanted to make a wholesome, idyllic family portrait of them all, and yeah, that was my approach, and yeah, so. Yeah, one challenge that I faced was actually that, yeah, I think Jake and Thierry looked a bit too young at first, so I kind of, that was really a difficult part. Difficult part for me was to kind of nail their age difference and get to make the faces more to add some wrinkles to the faces, and yeah, it took me a while to get their faces right, and yeah, I also wanted to underline that both parents are kind of equally involved in their children, and that they support each other, and yeah, that is what I wanted to depict. And we don't really know how the family dynamics are going to play out, but I kind of tried to be a little creative about that. And so I imagined Neteyam and Loak having like a playful rivalry, and yeah, as Avatar has also pointed out, the Kiri is like some kind of, I imagined her being a social butterfly who gets along with everyone. And she also, you mentioned somewhere, I think you've said it somewhere, that you also think or thought about her being like, I think she has some, she looks like it. So I totally agree with you. I think you've mentioned that somewhere. And yeah, and what one thing I really enjoyed about painting this drawing the painting, this drawing, was the hands. I think yeah,
Oh yeah.
hands are actually my favorite subject, or one of the favorite part of my favorite parts of any painting or drawing, because I think they convey so much emotion. And I also thought that the contrast between the 5 fingers and 4 fingers was kind of nice. So I kind of wanted to, include the hands on this, drawing.
I'd say it's well balanced, very well balanced. You got
Yeah, I like that.
Jake on the left.
I like that Took has her hand on Jake's, who has 4 fingers, and Kiri has her hand on Neytiri's, who has 3 fingers. I think that's really cute.
That was on purpose. Yeah, I wanted to kind of position them like that. Yeah.
Do you? I know you because you're a graphic designer, right? Do you approach things differently when you're doing something that's like actually that's supposed to be designed versus an art piece that you want to do just for like out of your own enjoyment, which I assume is this one that you did?
I actually think it's my approach is always the same one. I kind of try to kind of research a little bit beforehand and to get an idea what I want to convey with the painting. There must be some kind of like word or feeling or something. And my approach is to kind of create something that's an approach I always try to that I always try is that I actually want to make something that hasn't been seen that often before, or kind of bring something new to the table, so to speak. And that's kind of what I always try or strive to do. Yeah.
I think that's what really stuck out for everyone was just how well you managed to capture the spirit of the characters in Way of Water, despite us never having the privilege of seeing an actual photo shoot like this. You really brought it to life with your creativity, and that's what I really love about it.
Thank you.
Yeah, they come across as a super happy family unit.
Yeah, I think that you captured the phrase at the bottom so well. And then,
yeah, definitely.
To circle back to what we were saying at the beginning about a clean white background and then using that white, I think that's also a very good example of it because it looks light, it looks bright because you have that white behind it.
Speaking of clean lines, I think that Olympian might be one of the kings of doing these lines because his art is absolutely amazing. I think in terms of how distinctive it is and how it like how clear it is, if that's the right word. Every single piece that I ever see of yours is just amazingly clean. I think is the word I would use. Is Olympian with us? Has he gone?
Oopsie.
He's here.
Hello. I was gonna say I get that used to describe my art a lot, like clean or clear. And I think that's because when I was growing up, I learned to draw from anime drawings. So I think it kind of got absorbed into my art style, like the really clean lines and stuff. But it's a little bit funny because this drawing, and I think the other ones that I posted aren't actually lined. They're just sketches that I colored. So
it's like this isn't even my ultimate power.
Yeah. But I even when I'm just trying to sketch and be free and motionless, I obsess over making my lines like really sharp and clean. So
I absolutely love it, and I think that anime, like I know that I don't know how many other people on the call are the same, but Ashton and I are huge fans of like manga, and we like share a lot of the art there, and there's some artists, especially manga artists, where they have really distinctive lines.
Mhm.
And some of it's breathtaking. And like I said, we'll show some more in a bit where I legitimately am gobsmacked when I see your art, and I think, oh my god, that should be concept art for a movie.
Thank
you
you.
know. I think especially how you like do the colors and stuff. It's just where you put the little square. I really like that. I think it's like such a nice added detail.
I like
I
how
would
you can see
also.
the facial contour through the hair.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love the details on this one. Like, I think you should talk about this because I remember you talked about this character. You like the white stripe in the hair and stuff like that.
Right, yeah. I think he's my second Navi character that I ever made. And I wanted to make one that had something similar to vitiligo, which is the skin condition that causes light patches like that. And at first he didn't have the white streak in the hair. I don't really know why. But when I went back and made a sort of updated art for him, I was like, you know what, YOLO, I'm at it. I think it looks really nice. I think it suits him.
What's the name of the character?
It's Rantari, or just he usually is called Tari.
So I feel like going back. Oh, sorry.
No, I just want to know, like, why'd you go with the name, Rantari? I like the name. Does it have like a
Thank
meaning?
you. It sounds cool. Mostly.
I feel like
also, I have like in my head, I associate different syllables in Navi with different character traits, and I thought that Ron sort of fit him. It sounds kind of like elegant, but also like a little bit tough.
Yeah, I feel like your thing of it sounds cool. Like Jim would totally be like on that.
Yeah,
He'd be
that's
like, yeah,
important.
that's a Jim Cameron reason, if anything,
That's like the logic behind most of the names that I give my characters.
I'm sure
I
it's
feel
the
like-
same for every other filmmaker.
I mean, it has to be right. Like when I saw Tonowari's name, that's like it just sounds cool, right?
Yeah.
It sounds
It's a
cool
good
as he
name.
looks.
Yeah.
But doesn't it sound like an ocean name?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I could see that.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, that's like most of the logic that I follow when I name my characters.
So I guess like on Avatar's thing, right? Like the story. So when you're doing it, do you feel like the art itself is part of like a bigger creative process? And this is to everyone. Because it seems to me that you all have this like idea. There's like a creative spark there when you're making not just the art itself. It's far less mechanical than because I'm not a good artist. I couldn't draw or paint or anything like that, and so I don't like fully understand it. Whereas even from this discussion, it seems to me that there seems to be the creative spark is even deeper than just something visual, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. I think for sure most of what I draw is not purely visual. Like there's a story behind it, or I'm making it as part of something else. Like when I just like sit down to practice, then for sure it's just draw something nice. But most of what I draw it has something behind it.
Yeah, like you give your drawings personalities and names, right?
Yes.
I just want to say I admire your character design and the little details you put into it. Kind of really build them up. Just little blocks that piece together the whole. I like that.
Thank you.
And now we're going to jump across, I think, to some kind of cool art of Maralai, who isn't here. I think she's on holiday somewhere, but hopefully she will watch this in the future. And this is one of my favorite pieces of hers. She's actually super kind of interesting to me because she doesn't just do painting; she also does, I guess, sculpture making. Would everyone think that that's fair? Like, I think that's what the sculpture.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
way
yeah.
to describe it.
She's
Yeah,
pretty
Figurines.
talented. Yeah. Well.
and then this one's one of my favorites because it has this. It does this, so it
Oh, yeah.
glows in the dark. So she put this kind of, I don't like
It's
some
so creative.
bioluminescent paint.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it adds so much to the painting.
It'd be like so cool to have that hanging on your wall, and you turn off the lights, and the painting just lights up. That's just such a cool feature.
oh, I mean,
Yeah.
Avatar, you should print your art as prints. In fact, you guys could all do this and then paint over the stripes in bioluminescent paint.
Wait,
Oh my god.
I
Yeah,
want.
Good idea.
Well, I do have bioluminescent freckles, as I call them. That would be cool. I don't know how I go about doing that, but that would be cool.
Does anyone else have the urge to make their room bioluminescent, like in Avatar?
Yeah.
Like purple, like in the woods.
I think you might. It'd have to be kind of like think like, oh my, like if we go back through these, like that would like look at this. Look at the little, like the kind of the whiteness on her skin. So that's like, is it the vitiligo? If that glowed in the dark, or even like back to avatars, if you could paint, the blue bits.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine they glowed in the dark.
Oh,
That would
they
be.
They have the dots on them too. That was really fun, just kind of brushing them in. But
Yeah,
that
they
would
do
be
have
neat.
dots.
Mm.
That would
Yeah.
be super cool if those dots glowed in the dark.
I also really want one of this Ripley whip, but where her teeth and eyes glow. Jonesy's eyes glow as well.
That sounds kind of
White or
terrifying, though.
red? Like what?
If that's how you think.
Suddenly it's super creepy.
You could paint a xenomorph behind them that only
Yeah.
appears in the dark.
That would be
Oh,
cool.
that-
Yeah, that would be so cool.
Right, so the xenomorph appears.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, so Maralai's, and then here's more of Maralai's artwork and this is kind of some of the process that she goes through. And one of the things I love about this is that she's got sim things above each of them.
Yeah.
So she was imagining it obviously as the Sims. So I guess it kind of gives us some insight into her process too, which I really like. And then there's that same image but coloured. I don't think she's got around to actually adding glowing bits to it yet, but I assume that she might be doing that next.
And the way she positions Spider right in the center
Yeah.
is perfect.
Yeah.
It is.
He's that center. And then so I think that the way we'll do it is we can just like go through them, but everyone don't these are elves, but don't feel like you can't also talk. This one here is one of my absolute favorites. So Elf, I think you did these is this you doing digital art?
Yeah. This
So-
is digital, yeah.
I guess this is one of my questions. How big of a difference do you feel it is? Is there a difference between, say, doing digital art or using a tablet or then doing it, in real life? If it's real life makes sense. I don't know, what do you call it when you do it the classic way? Yeah, traditional, yeah.
Traditional, yeah. Yeah.
Or analog painting, drawing, or something like that.
Analog. You call a pencil analog. A pencil is not analog.
It's acoustic drawing.
What?
Mechanical drawing.
Yeah.
Well, it is very different actually, because I use a pen for my iPad that has a metal tip, so it feels very slippery almost. So it's really, really easy to mess up. That's why I use those messy lines and just smooth them out afterwards. And with paint or pencil, you have full control. So it's, yeah, I would say it's much easier to do it traditionally, but you can't undo anything as easily. So, yeah.
I feel like this is one of those ones where it's images you can hear as well.
Yeah.
I can just
Yeah.
imagine it going.
And I
Saying hi,
want to
mama.
raise the question of the mother of the alien. Is it the queen or the person who carried them?
Oof.
Well,
Because he's saying hi, mama, but who's he talking to?
The queen's the mum, the host is the dad.
yeah,
Oh.
I kind of imagined the host being the mother, but that could totally be something different.
This is like an interesting trivia, actually. The chapter on the DVD where this happens in Alien is called Kane's son.
Oh.
That is
Oh.
disgusting.
So we got a seahorse situation going on
Yeah,
here.
like a seahorse that.
Yeah, I always remembered it. It's even I think it's the title of the chapter in the book. This shows how much of an Alien nerd I am. That I've read the novelizations of the films.
No shame, I guess.
They're actually really good for like not because they're written by like the guy who did the actual scripts for the original Alien. So it's
Really?
cool. Yeah, Alan Dean Foster, I think his name is.
Oh, Alan Dean Foster? Oh,
Yeah.
I read his rendition of The Dig. I love that game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
I'm
really
familiar.
good.
Oh yeah, very creative.
Let's move on. So there's the Predalien chestburster, which I think is also very cute. These are some sketches that you did, right, Elf?
Yeah, from the Adapt or Die comic. Yeah.
Yes, we have
I
French
really like
people.
these.
Deji Roth. We have the
No French people here, no sir.
D'accord.
Belgian.
I love this one. I feel like this is a mixture of the previous two.
Yeah.
I think you captured her like motion really well. I really like it.
And also her wonder, I think so.
Yeah.
The
I like
eyes
that.
always seem hard.
I like that we can see the colors you tried or used at the top.
Yeah. I like including those in posts or whatever. You can like really see the individual colors.
Oh, okay. So you've used all of these.
Yeah.
Oh, this is like yours, Olympian. Ollie does this too, and that's one of my favorite things. Yeah, I hadn't noticed that, but I love it. That for me, there's something really strange about. I love that like so much that you can see the individual.
Yeah, because
and then
for some of them they're so bright you wonder where, but it's just in the light.
Yeah, it's
you mean like the little color patches that I had?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I had those so that when I draw the character again, I can color pick from the palette that I drew. But I think it also looks really nice, and also on Elves, obviously it feels like kind of personal. You can like see the artist like furiously jotting down which colors they use, so they can get them later.
Yeah. Well, because I use alcohol markers for these, and the color on the lid actually looks different to the color it actually is. So I actually have to try it first before I use it. Otherwise, it can go very wrong. So that's also why it's there.
True.
Yeah, when I did traditional art, I found I had to do the same thing. You just gotta and then I proceeded to ruin it with color. So I really admire how you managed to do it so well here.
Thanks.
And you really have a knack with it. Really suits you.
I like that you didn't include any other underwater aspects, like plants or something. It gives it such a dreamlike quality. And also it looks like skydiving.
Yeah, like she's in a cloud.
Yeah.
It's very Nirvana baby energy.
Definitely, yeah.
You all seen that meme going around.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go faster through some of Elf's ones, but we can go back. But there's another Tiny Ripley.
Yep.
Tiny
Love this
Ripley.
one.
I'm gonna steal that one. And then wait, what? I'm gonna and then there's this.
You're
There's-
going to see it in the next Avatar Guy video up on this wall with no explanation.
Elf, watch out. She's gonna sneak into your
Yeah.
home.
I'm gonna do an art raid. Just only a matter of time.
Wait, you were meant to deny that. What?
All right, sorry, no, I'm not. I'm an upstanding member of the Avatar community. There's a cool Kiri,
Yep.
and then
Mhm.
is this like like a mood board kind of thing?
Well, I started doing the first Kiri, which is the one at the top. Because I just saw the trailer and I was like, oh my god, I have to just do this on paper right now. But I really wanted to capture her bewilderness, so I just had to do another one underneath it, and then I just added the rest from the trailer.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's all very pretty. I like the collage aspect of it. Just the artist jotting down all the things that really stuck out to her. It's very nice.
It's gonna be such a shame when all these all go missing.
Yeah, it's just it'd be a shame someone were to steal it.
I really love this one. Yeah,
Oh, this one's great.
That
This
one's
is one of my
bigger.
favorites.
Amazing.
Yeah.
You nailed
Yeah.
her face.
This one was so annoying to do, but it was worth it.
Mhm.
Definitely.
why was it
I can see
annoying?
you didn't feel like drawing fingers on that day.
Well, it was annoying because I originally made a sketch, a far bigger one than this one, on like, I don't know how big it is, A3 paper, and her face proportions were not correct at all, and I realized that when I was nearly done, so I had to move the chin and the mouth and the nose, so it was horrible, but I guess it worked out in the end.
It shows off one of Sigourney's like best features as well. Her like super strong jawline, which is
Yeah.
just beautiful. You know?
I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah.
definitely couldn't
legendary-
tell the revisions. I can't tell at all. So, good job. I really love her hair texture.
Mhm.
Sorry,
and
I
then-
cut you off,
Sort of
Avatar Guy.
halo
No,
she
it's
has
okay, it's
around
okay.
her face.
Okay.
I talk too much. You can always cut me off.
This is my personal favorite. Not gonna lie. The
I
Kiri
think
one.
it's definitely my favorite.
The way the Kiri one,
This
because
one
this
is
is
so adorable.
one of my
Oh.
favorites, but it's not my actual favorite. My favorite's coming up soon.
It's,
Oh.
I can't get enough of it. She just looks so adorable.
Yeah. So
I think the smile is. I feel like
Smile.
Sigourney really comes through in this.
Mhm.
You know?
Well, that's because Elf
feel-
draws her all the time. She can
Yeah,
channel
no, I know.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah, she's channeling
She's
the,
most
the thing.
qualified.
it's literally it's the only thing I do every day, so I didn't even have to use a reference for this one.
Nice.
Just sheer muscle memory.
It's instinctual. She could do this in the dark.
Yeah,
Believe it.
definitely.
Elf has studied every nuance of Sigourney Weaver's face.
Yeah, do you think she's her favorite actor? I can't tell.
Oh,
I
maybe.
wonder.
And there's another one off Grace.
Yeah.
so
That's cute.
I love this one too.
It's really good.
It's really
Yeah,
funny how much
just-
it looks like the last one.
I just kind of
Yeah.
wanted to do that picture, but really messily, so I didn't even finish it.
Yeah, it's
Just
raw.
love the messy nature of it. I love the roughness. I think it's perfect. It's just amazing.
Thanks.
I'm gonna put this one in a frame.
After you sneak
And-
into her house and steal it, of
Of
course.
course, like, that was the implication, of course. Then ready, everyone. So this next one is my favorite piece from Elf, purely because she sent it to me, and I am in possession of a piece of her art in the physical world, and that is this one. This is actually on my wall above Avatar 2 poster, and I absolutely love it. It's yeah. I mean, I can't. There's nothing to say really. I just it's
Does
amazing.
it have like a glow paint around the eyes so when you turn off the lights, it's just his eyes staring at you in the dark?
Sometimes when I like going to sleep, I can hear him whispering the number
Oh
of
wow.
days until Avatar 2 comes out. So I don't know if that's like a feature or that's actually in my head. So yeah, some days I feel like I do hear it, but it's really funny, and I really like it. Yeah, I think it's a perfect addition to my collection of. Well, I don't actually have many pieces. I have posters, but I've never had a piece of painted art on my wall. I have a spray painted image of Jim, which is also weird, but yes, I really
Did
like
you have
it.
this like next to the picture of Jim and then
It
it's
is
the
next to
picture of
yes.
Pepe?
This is the picture. This is next to Jim. This is actually next to Jim. Yeah.
Oh, it's a
Um,
perfect accompaniment.
Exactly. I don't have a picture of that in here, but I should share it at some point. But yeah, that one's the one that my friend made for me for my birthday. The one of Jim, but he looks so creepy that we call it Devil Jim.
What?
And we say that he wards off evil spirits. So that's the power of the art. Yeah.
Spray painted Jim.
Yes.
Wait, and what does Pepe have a similar effect?
No,
It
Pepe
counts
was
down
done
the
by
number of
Elf.
days.
He keeps
Oh,
away
yeah.
all the Avatar hate.
Yes.
Yeah.
He keeps my life based and robust. Yeah, definitely. And then I think we jump from my favorite elf to my favorite Akka, even though I feel bad for this, but this is one that you did a while ago, right?
Yeah, that's one I made in 2012 actually.
Wow. Because you posted this as like a comparison to this next one, which is this one, right?
Yeah, I actually used that one, the old one. I used that as reference. I kind of updated it to also see how far I've come, and I think I've come a long way. And but yeah, you don't really see it. Every painting you do is actually baby steps that is going to make you better as an artist and lets you grow. And yeah, so I've never done a comparison before, and I thought now is the time to kind of do that. And so I
feel like this one would be an amazing pin.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love the
Yeah.
vibrant colors.
It's like the wood sprite just comes out at you the way it's done.
Yeah, the depth to it's really cool. Like it's obviously flat, but the amount of depth that you managed to convey in such a thing is like I love it. You need to get to Disney and get them to sell the pins of this in the Avatar world.
I agree.
buy
I would
it.
buy it. I'd put it on
Yeah,
my backpack.
same.
It's really awesome to do something like that, or to it would be cool. It could definitely dream of one.
I mean, this one, I think I would want one without the little wood sprite over her eye though. I like it, but I also want one that's just her face, where she's like, "I'm gonna get you, Jake Sully."
Watching
Just
him.
staring at you.
Yeah,
Getting the bow ready.
yeah,
Are you gonna paint her eyes to be glow in the dark too?
Oh yeah. Oh, that would. Could you imagine that? That would be so funny. Having your room full of these like pieces of art, and then you just shut off the lights, and then it doesn't even really get dark.
They're
'cause
all
everything's just
staring at
glowing. Yeah.
Like little stars when you're
I'm gonna pretend to myself that Jim has a secret like room in his house that he has like that all over the place. He just goes in there.
Why
when
do
he
you have
needs
to
like...
pretend?
Oh yeah, of course. It's because I can't let people know that I know about it. That's why.
Oh, of course.
I mean,
okay,
if
next.
the Avatar guy says it on YouTube, it has to be real.
Of course.
Mm.
Of course. And
Yeah,
then
I mean,
okay,
Jim. Jim's actually watching these things. He just won't admit it.
Yeah. No, I told you he's not watching anything right now. He's got way more important things to be doing. He's slaving
is-
away.
No, really, he's just watching these on his phone because he can't get enough of people talking about
Yeah.
it.
This is why Avatar has been delayed. We're actually contributing to it. I was going to say, this is another one by Eka that I absolutely love. We have this as a sticker on the Discord server. And I remember when you first sent it to me, I couldn't stop laughing because I just was like, oh my God, this is so, like, I remember just laughing, I think I was laughing for like a good 20 minutes.
I love how happy Bob is. Like, he's so happy. Like, it's the
He
most
looks so
joyful face.
adorable with his googly eyes.
Yeah, that's actually what I wanted to achieve. I wanted to make it as silly as possible, and I kind of imagined them being a rapper duo, something like that. And therefore, I gave them like gold necklaces and golden tooth. And yeah.
I feel like the golden tooth really suits him.
Yeah.
You know, like
Jake
weird.
in the hood.
Yeah, exactly. I totally could see Jake like having that in the film. I want to see him just like, yeah, look, Nay, I'm getting a golden tooth.
Okay, I straight up really want to see like just the kind of like the master and dog friendship between Jake and Bob. Like he just, yeah, come here, Bob, my loyal pet crayon.
Shall we jump ahead to some of Ollie's art? So this is what I described earlier, with the colours down the like right hand side that you show. I feel like they really do add to the art itself. You know, like I mean, maybe I understand that they also have utility, but I don't know. I just really like it.
Yeah, I mean, I put the effort in to make them look like kind of like organized because I think it also it adds in like a I don't know, I can't really describe it, but I think it adds something.
You do the eyes so well as well. Like I think you captured the I don't know, like you said it, like the anime-ness of it, but I think that Jim himself has definitely been influenced by anime. You know, like definitely like you see that. I think at least with like Alita, and I feel like he must have been thinking about that when he designed the Na'vi. Those like big eyes and the shape of their face and stuff.
It's the window into the soul, man.
Yeah, gotta make it look good.
More innocent, like they're an innocent peoples, and the bigger the eyes, the more innocent the character feels.
I mean, so you guys know that story about Alita when the original teaser came out and everyone was complaining about the eyes and they were too big. And James Cameron's response was, "We'll make them bigger."
Such a troll.
I know. I think Ashley might
the
know this better
Sigma
than
name
me.
right there.
He changed the size of the pupil, maybe, but he definitely didn't do what everyone was like complaining that they should do to make her eyes different. They made them smaller, for sure. But yeah, I love that. I love the I love the little helper for me as well, though. Like because I'm dumb. Like that you've got tail labeled. I feel like I'm not even kidding. That's actually good for me. Like I feel like the arm would have been a good label as well. You know, like the fin-like arm. Because I was looking at it earlier before the show, and I was like, "Oh yeah, the arm."
I didn't even
I will
notice
put
before.
much more labels for you.
Yeah,
Avatar guy.
literally. I need eyes, hair. That this is an RV. This is blue.
This is a drawing.
Yeah, this is a drawing. Yeah.
Not real photograph.
Yeah, not real photograph.
Artist recreation.
Yes.
That sounds like a listing on AliExpress.
And then another piece by Ollie, which I like the like the kind of, I don't know how to say it, but like the movement in this one.
Yeah.
You know, like the not the pose is the word I'm looking for. The pose. I really like the pose, and the coloring as well.
Really like how it floats, kind of. It's actually one of my favorites. Like the composition, it's very interesting.
Mhm.
I feel like
And the color palette too. Like
Mm.
you used very soft well, the way the gradients work from the yellow to the green, and then you got the brown neutrals. Kind of
Well,
really
thank you.
emphasize the color.
do you
I
use-
cannot take credit for that though because this is someone else's character, so I did not design them.
I see.
Oh, I see.
So wait, you didn't design them. What do you? How does that process work?
Someone else made the character and like sent me the reference sheet for them, and I drew them.
Okay.
Mm.
So, I was going to ask, even for this one, and I think this one too. You know, with like the stripes. How do you do the stripes? And I think everyone. This is a question for everyone because Ashen, I feel like Ashen did the stripes on Jake Pepe a certain way, and I always wondered how do you guys do your stripes? Is it purely random? Do you use a system? Do you use some kind of brush in whatever you're using?
So for me, I keep the stripes on the face like as accurate as possible. And then there are a few like stripes like on the chest or the legs that have like a certain shape that I want to keep, but then the rest are mostly random. I just keep like the general shape and area in mind, and like for on the neck and the shoulder, if there's like a certain number of them, then I try and keep the amount the same. I'm fucking crazy. Oops, sorry, I swore. I'm crazy, but and then I guess like the actual drawing process for them would be like I usually just go in with like a regular brush and draw them on, and then add like the gradient to like the lighter part near the face and the body, and then the darker ones, and then like the lines near like the edges of the stripes, and then I use a blending tool to blend them near the ends and like any other part that I feel needs to be a little bit softer.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Pretty interesting.
I'm very sorry for swearing.
Okay,
It's
don't worry
fine.
about it.
Don't worry. And Habitat, how did you do your stripes on yours?
Okay, so it was first I would just put in my faces, and then once I filled out the face, because I start with the face first, because if you get that wrong, the face is gonna fall off. Then from there I created another layer, and I called it stripes, and I just went over the pencil lines. Actually, no, this layer is beneath the pencil lines, so the pencil lines would come through. And I didn't really have to set anything like opacity levels or anything like that. It was just kind of work the way it was, and I erased around the edges, like Ollie mentioned with the. Like, is that what you did? You erased around the edges of the stripes so it blended a bit better?
I don't usually erase, but I usually add like a lighter color. But yeah, same in
Oh.
principle.
Yeah, you just want to soften it so it doesn't feel as harsh.
Don't want it to look like it was like painted on.
Yeah, you want to give it that natural feeling to it. Like this is an organic part of the picture.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And actually, what I did was I then took my brush, I set it to erase, and then I erased in the middle down the stripes so that it almost feels like there's an outline on the around the stripes. So it has that like kind of depth to it, like the color in their skin is concentrated around the edges of these stripes, kind of like how it looks in for the actual Na'vi. Just give that feel to it. Yeah, that's how I do it.
Aka, Elf, anyone else want to jump in?
Yeah, I actually don't blend at all. I just kind of paint them right on. Like I don't blend at all. I probably should do that more, blending actually, but yeah, it doesn't come as natural to me.
I like it though. It feels a little more graphic.
When your face
Bold.
right
Yeah, it
is-
feels. Yeah.
yeah, it's too loud. I think most of my art feels too loud. There's not really a focus there oftentimes, and yeah, that's definitely one aspect I need to improve, I think. Yeah.
I mean, I love the lines on Jake here. I think they're great. I think the loudness is fantastic for this style. You know,
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
it works perfectly.
Can you go back to the other piece, the round one?
Sure.
I think the glow color would look really nice on that one.
You mean not the
Oh,
upper
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that is where I use an airbrush, I think, to kind of like make this glowy effect.
You have to sell pins of that. We're gonna make it happen. Like, I feel like it will. It's honestly, you already have like multiple customers just from this alone. Okay.
I'm gonna make a variation, one with the Atacarinas and one both eyes.
I one of my big sins, I think, across the entire channel has been that I don't call the Atacarina the Atacarina. I call it the
wood
I can't
sprite.
remember the ink. What's the wood sprite?
Yeah.
I'm such a human.
Well, something actually put it out.
It sounds cool.
Well, Karina has the word cure.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is actually
Oh. Oh my god, everyone! New theories
in the
just
middle of the
dropped.
Yeah, I've read your post on that one actually. You made. It was pretty good.
Is
And
that
I'm
one of yours? Is a wood sprite confirmed?
Yes.
Well, I just thought like there's that visual connection with her lanky, like she has like really lanky arms, and I relate to her really hand station, and just I ran through the woods all day hair. She reminds me of a wood sprite, and I just think
Yeah.
Ina.
I think that feels very purposeful on their part.
Yeah.
I don't
We
think
were on
that's
to you,
really
Jim.
See, it does come up with these names for a reason. It's not just because they're cool.
Yeah, I think.
Well, I mean, Neytiri is a pretty cool sounding name.
Yes.
Yeah.
I wonder how many like different names they go through before they decide on a name.
Well, Neytiri was only two, right? It was Zulika and Neytiri.
Wait, it was used to be Zulika?
In the proto avatar. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
In the test footage.
Mhm.
Do you know the story about that one, Olympian? So I'll tell everyone this because this is quite a funny one. So Jim got some money from Fox to shoot like 20 minutes of footage.
The prototype.
Yeah, the prototype. And they gave him 20 million. I think they gave him 20 million to shoot 20 minutes of footage, and he shot like 30 seconds or 15 seconds. He shoots and then he comes back and says to them, "Here's what I've created." And at that point they're like, "You're crazy! You wasted the money." And he says, "Fine, I'll take this to Disney." And
oh no!
They all panic and say, "No, keep it here." And so the rest is history. But I guess ironically, eventually it would still end up in the hands of Disney one way or another.
Yeah. Well, their hold is very distant from what I can gather.
Yeah.
There's like if I could say, it's like Jim's in charge here, and Disney just has to go along with it. I don't think it's the other way around.
It is for sure. They're the distribution company for sure, like 100%.
Disney's Steve Cran and Jim's the one writing.
Oh my god, that's a meme. Ashen, you need to make that. I would love to see this one on a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Am I the only one? Is that weird?
No.
I don't know. I would totally wear a t-shirt
great.
of this.
That would work really
cool
well,
picture.
actually.
I don't know what the like legality of fan art is though either. You know, like I don't know how it works.
Well, I sell my stuff on Redbubble, and whenever I post like a new design that is related to Avatar, they take it for review, but they always get manually approved. So,
Ooh, cool.
at least on Redbubble, you can do it.
I'm not surprised, considering a lot of people probably sell their fan art through Redbubble, and if they kind of brought down the foot on that, that would actually lose a lot of revenue for them. So turn a blind
Yeah,
eye.
exactly.
Yeah,
And they also have like fan art like partnerships with a lot of companies, but not for Avatar yet. So
Mm. Well, the Navi Nation creation stores are really open to showing off fan art.
yeah.
yeah.
It's really cool.
So I'm gonna this is for the future. This is for the future listeners as well. I'm gonna drop links in the description to everyone who's appeared's Instagram, and I'll also put a link to anyone who has like Redbubble or anything like that, so you can find all of their art. Should you want to like help like or buy anything like that. That is just a reminder. So remember to check the description when the video actually ends up on YouTube. We have a piece, I think. I think that this was a piece that I showed when you were chatting, Ollie. But this is the one that like you've got a few in this style, right? Where it's like the little variations, and again the things that are really useful for people like me, where you're really clearly telling me what it is at the bottom, like, and I know we're laughing, but I'm crying inside because it's true. And the different colors as well that you've used, I really love this. It does make me think of, I've seen like those documentaries of like behind the scenes on things like Frozen and Tangled, and you know where the artists are doing the art and they have like little things like this, and it just makes me think of that. I think it's really I love seeing the like different variations.
Thank you.
And then we have this, which would you call this your line art, or is this just sketch again?
Oh, this is just sketch. I don't think any of the ones that I shared are actually lined. I barely ever do line art.
This is like ultimate Chad move of these aren't even the real line drawings. We have to do another one in the future where Ollie takes us through his different line drawings and shows us his true power.
I love this picture. The Thanator, the way it's looking at her, it's almost as if this is a Navi and her mount, like kind of thing. So, and they don't ride Thanators, but there's just such a personality between these two.
Oh, well, the story behind this character is that the Thanator actually is his mount, but it's also like his adoptive brother because he was abandoned as a baby and was raised by a mama Thanator, and he later gets found by the Anurai clan and taken in.
This needs to be right. Have you guys seen like Love, Death and Robots on Netflix? It's like a bunch of shorts. I feel like that would be such a cool short, like an Avatar short, you know?
Avatar guy, I got an idea. What if like we also have like a story podcast where each one of us does a little short of a story surrounding a character they create or a character they like, and we could do like a little mini series like of our own fan made kind of version of the Love, Death and Robots you just brought up.
That would be pretty cool.
That's a great idea.
Amazing. I love that.
Yeah.
Honestly, that idea of Ollie of this one, I actually want to see that now.
Yeah, I do too.
That would be so good.
I want to know the story behind these two. You really?
Yeah, I will look into it.
I do want to learn more.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna jump across to this one by Ashen, which is line drawing. But I wanted to do it because I wanted to actually discuss a broader point there, right? So Ashen did this in the kind of style of Jim, right? He's there. Is he there?
Yeah. Well, it's using his. It's not his style so much, but the same equipment, right? It's the black paper with the pencils, the colored pencils, the same ones he used.
So I guess my broader question is, and this is based on Ollie's thing as well, right? How much like James Cameron always talks about how the stories that he makes are very much like influenced by all of the lots of other things that he himself has watched and an artist that he loves and things like that. And there's a quote from him which says something about how it's like a creative feedback loop, and that he puts things out into the world that he would want to see, and in the hope that he influences artists and directors and all the kinds of people like that, because it's the things that he loves. And I just wondered how much of that obviously it's impacted you guys, and it definitely impacted me. I try and do it in my own untalented way, where because I don't feel like I'm very artistic in this, like any of these, like the way you guys are, but I try and like I try to push myself creatively in making certain things that I feel like I can do. To like, do you guys, like, when you're thinking about Avatar, do you feel like it's more than just that story, that it's the creation of the world? Do you think that it attracts people who are artistic and creative for more reasons, or is it
Definitely.
Does it
Yeah.
make, does it
100%.
make sense?
Oh yeah, I guess I see where you're coming from, and absolutely, like when you see, like whenever I see passion projects, like even just someone trying to make a game or something like that, or someone just feeling that passion someone has for a project they have, like Cameron has for Avatar, it just reaches out and it affects you. It's like a zing, and it inspires you to do art. And I can see where that creative feedback loop is coming from. You're feeding off the passion like a leech, and you're creating your own work, and then that will inspire others. But yeah, I totally get where you're coming from. Yeah.
Hello.
Is there anything else want to add to that? Like, how did Cameron inspire them?
Oh, I guess I would say that Avatar in general it really does feel like a really big art piece, and I mean all of the art behind it, like in the world building stuff, it really is like fodder for artists, especially artists like me who really love science fiction and world building and all of that.
Yeah, I think
I do think it's just one of those things that is just very conductive of inspiration and art and all that.
I think, like it's almost with Jim, he often does it, for its own sake. I feel like you can really tell that he hasn't included anything in the film that's just where he's thinking of like merchandise, So how like in Star Wars, for the prequels and the sequels, they had to alter the designs of things like C-3PO, and the reason they did that was so that they could create new toys. And it's like I often am a little bit like cynical of that kind of thinking when they're doing variations on things for the sake of some merchandise, whereas with Avatar, it never feels like that anything that is created is for anything other than being in that world.
It almost feels like the extensions with the merchandise is canon to the world, not a parody of it. Makes sense.
Yeah,
I think with
sure.
being sci-fi,
it feels it doesn't feel like anything is in the movie for the sake of merchandising. Like in the newest Star Wars film, there was like a little robot that didn't do anything for like the plot or the story, but it had like
the hairdryer
toys made of it.
Yeah, it looks like a hairdryer, right?
That one.
I know exactly which one you mean. I saw it and I was like, "Why is that there? Like, that's crazy."
Kind of like the Garfield effect.
Don't forget BB-8, or is that his name?
BB-8 at least was like the replacement for R2-D2.
Yeah, but they made him as cute as possible, didn't they?
Yeah, the design kind of looks nice, I think, but it's clearly just for merchandise purposes.
We can. So then I'm going to jump through some more, this is more of Marali's. I feel like we can do another thing in the future where we talk with Marali in person, I think, because she will be back from holiday. So I'm not going to do this, but you guys know the name. What's the name of this character?
Ikani.
Yeah.
She's cool. I love the war paint, especially like the red war paint against the blue skin. I love that. And this is one of
I really love how she became like a fan favorite without having a name or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's like the ex-girlfriend in a way.
Yeah, she is. She's on screen for notes. I hope she comes back.
Me too. Really she is mentioned in one of the comics.
So she's still out there. They haven't forgotten.
Yeah. She's still kicking.
Yeah. And then this one as well of the Met Hyena, and there's an Ilu at the bottom, which I really like. This is by Aka, and this is a doodle.
Yeah, I saw this one earlier.
That's what I said the exact same thing when Aka told me what it was, and she was like, "Yeah, this is just a doodle." It's like I was like, "Oh my god!"
Just a doodle.
Take me
Just a
3,000
doodle.
years.
You're crazy. Crazy.
Actually watched the movie so many times that I can kind of remember like how the creatures and how the Navi look like, and I really love painting or drawing animals and humans in general, and I think the Navi kind of inhabit the best of both worlds, and yeah.
I
Yeah.
really love the one on the top left. For some reason, it makes me think it gives me like it's like a mix between the Metcaina and the Matakaya. For some reason, I don't know what it is specifically that's giving me that, but that when I look at it, that's kind of that's what I'm thinking. I know their stripes aren't the same, but I just feel like the style, if it conveys it.
Yeah.
Another thing as well, and this is really weird, when I see the Ikran in that position, it makes me think of the alien, like the xenomorph.
Really?
Maybe it's the head.
The head, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
It's not.
It's the head and the neck.
Yeah.
In fact, actually, so that one brings me to a kind of bigger question. I don't know how many of you know this, but one of the people who helped design the Ikran is an artist called Wayne Barlow, and he does amazing. He does a lot of sci-fi art and a lot of Ashen, you have to help me. Would you say demonic or like monsters?
No, what's it? It's called like I think it's just surrealism, but it's like depictions of hell, stuff like that.
So yeah, he's and I guess I've talked about this before. One of the things I love is that Jim has this like uncanny ability to bring the best people together for his projects. And Wayne Barlow's a funny one because Ashin and I loved him we looked at a bunch of art and we always liked him, and because he's done a ton of really cool concept art and just art in general. And then we found out that he'd worked on Avatar and that he was one of the concept artists who they all went to Jim's house and had to draw a bunch of concept art. Yeah. So I guess my bigger question is just what artists do you guys like, and like who inspires you?
Well, I really like Wayne Barlow. I think he's like a master at like alien creature designs. Like he wrote, I think it's called Expedition. That's just like a catalog of a bunch of alien designs that he did.
Yeah,
and he actually used some of them as inspiration for some of the creatures from Avatar.
I've actually before had to Google him. Yeah, it's pretty good stuff. Yeah.
You'll go down a rabbit hole. I'll put his name in the comments for anyone who wants to check him out. He's really, really good. Yeah, he's amazing. He's an absolutely phenomenal artist. Yeah, I don't know, like that top right one definitely gives me those vibes. And then let me just jump. Okay, so this is one. we kind of finished where we started with one by Avatar. And she's losing her mind. So we actually have this really cool thing where we were doing like everyone's line art, and I loved this one, and it was really funny. I love this. I love the ignorant grunt sports shades.
When I read that entry in DK book, Waveplay is an ignorant grunt, and my sister pointed out one caption says he prepares to pulverize Pandora. And it ends there in the photos that I took. It is just so ridiculous to me. Oh man, I had to draw it.
Yes,
so funny.
I
love how he got like sports shades for his avatar when he became a recon.
This is interesting, but the style of sports shades he has is actually known as the cat style, and he's a Navi, so I wonder if that was like a subtle burn. But the way it kind of fans out a little bit, it's the cat style for sunglasses. I found it funny.
Jim thinks of everything, man.
You're
The
a
cat
cat
style.
now.
Yes.
I knew that I just sadly do not have a good picture of Wainfleet's avatar for me to do a Wainfleet or an avatar version of him. I would love to, but all I had for high res was the human one, so I had to include the sports shades somehow, and I used a photo reference of a guy who was looking at the exact same angle and perspective. So I just traced his shades and I put it next to the picture, and it worked out.
I think we had a big discussion about this before, about how his avatar would have to wear glasses, and that because the Navi ears are really high up on the head.
Yeah, they're
So-
also smaller too on the recoms.
Right. So the glasses are gonna have to be like designed around that. And so we were laughing that we can't wait to see how they look.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think this has
private
come up
candor.
in every single episode of the podcast so far.
It's the,
The
it's the
Navi sunglass
ongoing-
problem.
Yes.
Having to have all their custom made clothes. I just every single detail for their freaking Navi bodies. And the size of the boots and the glasses, just everything.
Custom Navi wear.
They have like a little fashion line on Bridgehead for the
I mean, they have a
Navi
3D printer,
recons.
right?
Just 3D printing glasses for Wainfleet.
Oh my god.
Oh man. Oh.
I-
Well,
I,
thanks for including this.
I think we've kind of come to the end of the show now. I was gonna say that along the Wayne Barlow point, is there any other artists that you guys like really love that you wanna like talk about?
For me, it's more old school actually. One artist that comes to mind is Salvador Dali. I really love surrealism in general.
You might have to put that in our private, type that in our private chat, Aka, so that I can type it out for everyone else.
Salvador Dali.
Oh, Salvador Dali, I didn't hear it proproperly.
Salvador.
Okay, yes.
Because I really like how he approaches he approached his motives. And there's one painting made by him which is called Chest of Drawers, and he just got very literal with it, and he kind of painted a person with literal drawers in his chest, and I thought it was
Oh, it's the chest of drawers. I get it.
Yeah, it's like
Oh.
and that is one painting I really love made by him. Yeah. And
I really love Salvador Dali too. There's the Dali Museum in Tampa here in Florida that we used to go to.
Oh, that's amazing.
I agree.
Any others? Anyone?
It's hard for me to think off the top of my head, but
So I can throw a few out that if you guys that might help you. So one massive one for me that I love and I feel like no one else has been able to replicate is H.R. Geiger, who obviously did a bunch for the original Alien.
True. His is very unique.
Yeah.
It's like when Aki, you mentioned using the spray thing in your art, and I can't remember the actual name of it. You know, it's like the thing that sprays paint out of the end. He used that a lot. But for me, when I see his art, it feels like it's truly alien. Like I don't actually know what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
It's like I don't know where to start. My eyes don't know where to go, and it's just words can't even communicate a lot of his art, and I love that aspect of it.
That's because he is looking into another world. It's not grounded in our reality. He's just peering into another reality, and you're seeing it through his eyes. That's why it's so otherworldly. It has that striking look to it. I do know what you're talking about. I am familiar with him.
Yeah, I love that. And then the other one, which is also weird, which maybe I feel like I need to come up with I need to come up with another example of the fact that I've mentioned Barlow Geiger. The other one is a manga artist called Kentaro Miura, and he does one. He's dead now, but he was famous for doing a manga called Berserk. And Ollie, when I was talking about your line art, I was thinking about him because, and Ashen can attest to this because again, we both are huge fans of his. Some of his line art it should be in museums because it's just I've never seen any manga that reaches the levels of like pure what I would say artistry as him. There are some double pages that he does, and I'd see a look at them and I just think this should be in a museum somewhere on the giant as the biggest screen as possible.
I have heard of Berserker. I think I'll have to find it sometime.
Yeah, I've heard about it too. I've only heard good things about it, actually.
Me too.
I think
Yeah,
Yasuko
not very-
Urata is also a great manga artist. He's the artist behind One Punch Man. And I'm not a manga
Oh,
reader,
yeah, I've
but I
heard of
think
him.
its
Yeah.
art is great.
Yeah, I'm not a manga reader or an anime watcher either, but I really love the art.
I have to agree. I'm not much of a manga reader myself, but one that's a personal favorite of mine is Pluto by Naoki Urasawa. He's also a fantastic artist. I'm just in love with his work. Have you heard of him?
I haven't, no.
I haven't either.
You haven't heard of the Astro Boy rendition called Pluto?
No.
No, I haven't. I have heard of Astro Boy.
Okay. It's like one of my favorite mangas next to Welcome to the Ballroom.
I don't think I've read a
I'll-
manga in 20 years.
Jupiter in chat said, "How do you feel about CM Kozman?" I've never heard of that artist before. I just googled him really quickly, and he's like they seem to be like almost from like animal books where there would be like an index of different animals on Earth.
Oh, he's the creator of Altamaros. I love Altamaros.
I don't know what that is. You have to tell me.
It's speculative evolution of the human race.
Oh,
That sounds interesting.
So like humanity gets split onto all of these different planets and they evolve into different species in very unique ways. He's a really great artist.
oh yeah. This is like very like Barlow-esque almost. Well, not. It's more freaky than Barlow. The other artist as well, CM Kozman, is amazing. I'm gonna check that guy out definitely. And
You
the
should
another one
definitely
I
read
actually-
Altamaros.
I'm already got it in my tab right now. Another one I love is I think he's Polish. I will need to double check, but he's called Sladislaw Beksinski. And he does he's kind of like Geiger in color. He heavily inspired the bone work that Geiger did in Alien. So he's the one who inspired Geiger. And a lot of his work is really, really surrealist and otherworldly too.
Oh,
And some of that stuff, again, like I think for sci-fi fans, you look at it and you just there's so many stories that I come up with when I look at that stuff. It's so inspirational.
You'll have to put his name in the chat.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I will
I
put
can
it. I will put it in the I'll put it in the chat. But he's one of my all-time favorites. I love him so much that I actually spent like 700 euros on a print of his. And it's a huge skeleton like lady. I'm gonna put it into the YouTube chat, but I'll drop it into the Discord as well. And he's one of my favorites. Again, he's got that style, and again, maybe this is telling everyone a lot about me, is that you don't always know what you're looking at. Like it's you do, but at the same time, it's not exactly obvious. Yeah, so a lot of his art is like very like Soviet inspired as well. Like it's like there's like a car rusting away in a desert, and it's a lot of really like industrial but also fantastical artworks. I would love to see a movie that was inspired by some of his artwork because I think it would be fantastic. I think it would be ridiculously expensive, but I think it would be really, really amazing.
Yeah, I just looked him up. He's like dark Salvador Dali. Honestly, that's what it reminds me of.
Salvador Dali's art can get darker. It's already pretty trippy.
Yeah, but it's like in a like a gory way almost.
Well,
Not Dali's.
this is weird because it seems like the art that inspires you is like for me, it's the artists that have really inspired me is actually like the ones from the Romantic period, like early 1800s, and then blossoming to the 1900s. Like I love Howard Pyle, John Simons, Thomas Cole, and then when you got newer art like Mobius, definitely Mobius. Like if I could think of just mixing the organic with the romanticism and the use of flora and fauna in art, like that, those are my biggest inspirations really as an artist.
I really like contemporary art, and while we were talking, I just remembered an artist that I really like. His name is Charlie Immer. He does like gory stuff, but it's like cute almost, and like pastel. And I think the inspiration from him comes across in my art a little bit.
With the bright colors.
I actually remembered one contemporary artist that inspired me as well, and his name he's also Polish, and his name is Paweł Kuczynski. I probably butchered his name right now, but I don't really know how to pronounce him. But he does kind of satirical art, and he's very he's very resourceful, I think, and I think his art is kind of mind-blowing to me. It tells a story, and it's pretty cool. But I don't think anyone knows him. He's a lesser-known artist.
I think that the ultimate artist though that is definitely my favorite is James Cameron. No, I'm kidding. But
hands
honestly,
down.
No, you aren't kidding. Don't lie.
Yeah, don't lie to us here.
Honestly, when I look through, so if you haven't had a chance yet, there's a book called Tech Noir, The Art of James Cameron, and going through that, and he shows his art like from when he was like 14 or whatever, and you can see it and you think, God, this kid is a genius already. I seriously think that even if he hadn't chosen to be a movie director, he would have ended up being, an artist like this of massive fame anyway. Because even when you look at his sketches of like Terminator, you just think this is the fact that this came out of this guy's mind. I'm honestly surprised that it's not in some kind of museum somewhere, or that it hasn't been bought for a bunch of money, because some of it is just like so amazing. I mean, I would even say some of the fact that he made his own sketch in Titanic be like a key point of the story. He still has that. By the way, that sketch of Kate, he has it. He shows it in like this documentary about him. He gets it out and shows the crew, and he's like, he keeps all of the sketches and drawings and things that he does in this huge folder. And I was like, oh my God, if that ever went to auction, or if he ever decided to auction off his art, it would be.
What's your favorite piece of his?
Pieces of his soul, even.
Yeah. My favorite Jim piece. That's a really hard question.
Avatar.
Oof.
Mine is Avatar.
Yeah, plus one for Avatar, as is my favorite Jim piece.
Favorite piece of art. Come on.
Film is art, man. Come on.
That's true.
Okay, there is this one sketch that he did that he did not finish. I came across it. It's he had a dream of this godlike figure in this world of lava, and he holds up this pile of lava in his hands. But he woke up and he just drew this, and I don't know how long it took him, but he just like made it sound like he whipped it out, and he didn't finish the head. He had to go back to work, kind of thing. And I love it. It's like the unfinished piece, like the untapped potential that somehow he's been gifted with. It's almost like he's been blessed to hold this creative flow, like this very lava, and it just shows through his art that he's been blessed. Definitely, it's almost like a reflection of his own. That dream he had was a reflection of himself. It just struck me. It's just a very beautiful piece, and it's unfinished, and that's what I love so much about it. Anyway,
do you guys like? I know that you get inspiration from like Avatar and stuff. Are you like inspired by other things, like when you do other art? And I know we haven't showcased it here, but I would love to know like what you feel like are your inspirations.
Definitely Alien. Definitely.
It's Alien and Sigourney.
Yeah.
I'd say for me, Asterix is definitely one of them. The French comic.
Oh,
John
clean.
Carter.
Yeah.
Yeah, a huge fan of Asterix, and grew up with it. John Carter, Star Wars, the Clone Wars. I grew up with Tron, Uprising, Motor City, like a lot of cartoons, because cartoons really fascinate me. It's kind of something I want to go into more later on down my life, but yeah, I think it's just these kind of mediums that really inspire me, because it's sci-fi fantasy, and that's my favorite genre of sci-fi. What about you guys?
I know that. I was going to say, I know that for Ashen One, I am his inspiration.
This is in fact true.
Yeah, your videos, man.
I definitely think. Sorry, Ollie. I think I cut you off.
Oh, that's okay if you want to keep talking.
No, you go. I told you I could talk too much.
Okay. I guess my art in general is inspired by like modern contemporary art. I really like really colorful things. Recently I've been inspired a lot by Japanese alternate fashion, street fashion, which doesn't tend to come across in like the drawings that I do of Na'vi, which is what I draw the most, but it's there, I assure you. Then recently really inspired by Mass Effect, Wayne Barlow, for like creature designs and stuff. I really like designing aliens, and yeah, I guess that's probably like a good summary. It's like it's really hard for I know for some people to answer like the question of what inspires you, because it it changes all the time. And, it used to be something different. It'll probably be something different tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Always growing.
Yeah. You always discover new things, and it always keeps growing. I think we're like near the end now, and we can wrap up. I think I would love to hear what anyone who watches this, if like your favorite artists, and if there's anything that inspire you, I would love to hear that. So please drop those in the comments. I want to thank all the absolutely amazing artists for being on the show. I hope that some of them will come back for future episodes, even if we aren't talking about art, because I think that they've been fantastic. And I will definitely be putting links to all of their things in the description, and always, like, obviously screaming about how amazing they are every day. I'm seriously weird. Like, I will show people my work, like your art, and they're just like, "Oh God, he's talking about Avatar again."
I roll.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, just ignore him. Just ignore him. But no, yeah. So thank you all so much for being on the show today. I'm really glad that we got to like show even just a tiny bit of your art, and I encourage everyone who listens to go and check it out. So thank you, Based and Robust Network. I think that's it. So yeah, and then thank everyone else for watching too.
And join the Discord.
Join the Discord.
Oh yeah, join the Discord. Join the Discord. So you can...
GG/AVTR.
Clee is correct. Clee keeps me straight on the narrow. If you want to check these guys out and interact with them too, I'm scared we're going to get a bunch of people jumping in and pestering you. But no, yeah. So thank you everyone else for watching.
We get our own fan club.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.